Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we learned about a few CSS selectors. So CSS selectors are classified into so many groups. We will learn now about all the categories. First, we discussed about primary selectors. We learned about primary selectors. Primary selectors, we have type selector, ID selector, and class. These are the three selectors we have. So I just explained that point. Actually, I will tell you the clean concept here. So type selector is nothing but it defines the element name. It uses element name. It uses element name. So every occurrence of element in page will use the effect. So it uses element name, and every occurrence of element in page will use the effect. So what is the problem here is we cannot ignore for any specific, right? So you cannot disable for any specific occurrence. For any specific occurrence, you cannot disable. Every occurrence, wherever that element comes, it will use that style, right? That is what actually type selector. Generally, how we write type selectors? Type selectors, we define directly like P, that is for paragraph. So we write some div that is directly for div like this. We can directly define the name table, like we have some form. Directly we define like this. These are called as what? Type selectors. So type selectors can do this. Next important, we have another is ID selector. We discussed about ID selector also. ID selector, it is defined by using hash reference name. What is advantage? You can set effect for any specific element. You can set effect for any specific element. ID selectors, it is defined by using hash, and you can define for any specific element, you can configure that. So what is drawback in this? Drawback in that ID selector. What is the drawback of ID selector here? We'll see. Second. So we can apply effect for any specific element, but what is the problem in this is every element can have only one ID. Every element can have only one ID. So is it possible to apply multiple effects to one element? Multiple sets of effects? Not possible. So you cannot apply multiple sets of effects to one element. You cannot apply multiple sets of effects to one element because every element can have only one ID. If effects are written in several categories, we can't apply them. That is the problem with ID selector. So syntactically, how we write? So we define hash and we have a reference name, and under that we can define some effects. How we can access chairs? So how we can handle that is, so we can define any div or ID. So we will refer an ID and the reference name. That is a simple syntax. So what is ID selector advantage? ID selector advantage, you can choose for which element you want. But drawback is multiple effects you cannot apply, right? So there is another solution for that. What is the solution? The next option, the solution is a class selector. So we can use class selector. Class selector. What is the point about class selector is, so class is defined. Class is defined by using dot and reference name. Reference name. What is advantage? Every element can implement multiple classes. Every element can implement multiple classes. So that is the advantage of class selector. So how you access this now? We put syntactically like this: dot class name and some effects. How to access? Class is equal to class name. And actually you can have multiple classes. Class name 1, you have like a class name 2, like this we can define. We can have multiple classes and we can configure like this. All these days we used class selector, so no need to explain much about that, because all these days whenever we used CSS, majority we use 2 selectors very much. What are those? We use type selectors, another one class selector. Now some important rules are there. That means now the question asked in interview is, the first important question here is, the question is, if styles are defined, if styles are defined for element by using all 3 selectors, which set of effects it will apply? That means for one element, through type selector you applied, and for the same element through ID you applied. For the same element through class also you applied. That means first question is it possible to use all 3 selectors on one element? Is it possible to use all 3 selectors on one element? Yes, it is possible. Then which one will work? That have 2 situations actually. One situation is, so the first point is, if same attribute, same style attribute is defined. If same style attribute is defined, then priority, then it will apply based on priority. If same style attribute is defined, then it will apply based on priority. And what is that priority is? First priority is given for ID selector. It doesn't matter which one is first, which one is last. So it will give first priority to ID. After that, second priority is for class selector. And the third priority is for type selector, right? That means if same set of effects are applied, then it will apply based on the priorities. It doesn't matter which one you return first, which one you return last. It completely depends on ID, class, and type. So first priority always for ID selector. For example, let's see. Suppose we are applying some effect. So let's open the page we are having. And in this page, suppose there is a heading. Now for this heading one is enough to test. Okay. Now for this heading one, what we are doing is for heading one, I'm giving so color as red. And I give an ID hash head and color as green and hash dot some effect and the color is some blue like this. Now in that heading we are accessing ID as head. We are accessing class as what effect. Now I am applying all three on heading. Type selector is working, ID selector is working, class selector is working. Then which color will be applied for heading? Heading color will be green. Why? Because that is the first priority. First priority. You can see heading will be in green color. So heading is in green. That is the first priority. And important, it doesn't matter where you write. That means, so suppose I written class before heading ID. It doesn't matter. Anything you write, it is green. So it is not which one is recent, which one is first. So wherever you write, ID is taken. Now, if ID is not mentioned, then it will take class. Class means blue. If the class is not there, then type. That is the priority order actually, priority order. So it will apply based on this priority. What is the second point? If different attributes are defined, then all will apply. So then all will apply. So that means some effects you can give with ID, some effects you can give with class, some you can give with type. If different attributes are defined, all will work. If the same is there, then priority wise it will apply. That's very common question actually. So you see now, I will write here. By using type selector, I will apply border. 1 pixel solid, some red. And you can see the border is applied. By using ID selector, already color is green. So here by using this, I will give text align as center. Class, all are working. So that means if you are giving different effects, all will work. Same attribute you are writing, then it will override. So that is the priority wise how it apply. These comes under which category? We call them as primary selectors. So I hope everyone understood difference. So difference between type and ID and class. And you should also know the priority between the selectors. What is the priority? Next, important. Once you know the selectors, one more question is how to group selectors. Group selectors. Grouping selectors is another point, is nothing but, so you can group selectors using comma. Comma is the symbol to apply same set of effects. You can group selectors using comma to apply same set of effects. What does that means? For example, heading 1 and heading 5, they should have same font. Then what we will do, we can write like this, H1 comma H5. That means both will have same effects. Not space. If you write space, the meaning changes. That will, I will tell you what is that space, right? So that is not space. That means here, if you put a space, the meaning changes. You should give a comma. Comma indicates for heading 1 and for heading 5. You can write like this. For example, you can write like, suppose, so P and table. That means for paragraph and table. That is how we need to group the selectors. Or you can group different combination. Like suppose I said P and I said dot text style. What does this means? It will apply for paragraph and wherever this class is used, right? You can group multiple also. That means you can even put here like suppose paragraph, you can use text style and hash some reference. That means it will apply for all three. Wherever that ID is there, wherever that class is there, wherever paragraph is there, we can apply same. That is grouping of, so this is comma. All are separated with comma. This indicates the ID, that is class and all. These are actually how we can configure the selectors. Grouping of selectors. That means you can write ID, name, type combinations. Sometimes what we want is two elements must have same appearance. Elements are completely different, but they should have same font, same borders. In that case, no need to write 2 times. Instead of writing 2 times, you can just write at one place. You can just put comma for that, then it will apply. So this is actually the selectors. This is the questions related to how to group the selectors. Right? Next important, after understanding grouping of selectors and primary, we have rational selectors. Rational selectors. We have rational selectors. Rational selectors. So actually, rational selectors, 2 types are there. So this first thing is you can choose elements. You can choose elements by using parent and child hierarchy. You can choose elements by using parent and child hierarchy. That is rational selector. Rational indicates parent child hierarchy. Another important is you can choose elements. So by using siblings. By using siblings, you can choose elements by using siblings. Parent child hierarchy and siblings. Siblings means after before. That is what actually sibling is. Parent child and sibling. Let's see here. What are these? Few already we learned. Already we used in some places. But here I will show you. See. Parent child, any parent child combination. For example, anything is parent child. Suppose we have OL in that LI. So that means LI is a child of OL. It's not necessary that they should have such combination. Actually, you have a div and we have a paragraph. Now paragraph is child of div. That means anything you write outside is parent. It can be anything. So inside that paragraph is a child. Some elements have built-in childs. Some we create childs and parents. That means based on where you write, so it becomes parent child. Some are inbuilt parent child. Inbuilt parent child means suppose there is TD. TD is a child of TR. TR is a child of T body or T head. Then that is the child of table. That is built in hierarchy. Already they have. But when you write based on which one is outside, which one is inside, automatically they are parent child. Now, what is the point is, suppose this is having a class container. And in this, I given some para 1 and para 2. So we have like para 3. And outside, so we have para 4. Para 4. And suppose para 5. And inside, so here we are having para 4. Okay. And this para 3 is in a span. Now, I want to apply color only for paragraphs which are in container. I want to apply color only for paragraphs which are in container. Suppose if I write paragraph color as red, every paragraph will be red. Anywhere it may be. So it will apply everywhere. All are set to red. Everywhere it will apply that. Now I want to apply only for paragraphs which are inside a container. Then how you write parent-child hierarchy is syntax. Parent-child hierarchy we write like this. So parent-child hierarchy is this one. Parent-child hierarchy is nothing but parent element space child element, like this. If you write like this, then what happens is it will apply to all child elements. All child elements at any level. All child elements at any level, it will apply. You have another one. We have parent element, and a greater than symbol, child element. First one is space. Second one is greater than. This greater than indicates, so this is only direct child elements. Only direct child elements. It refers to only direct child elements. So parent-child hierarchy is, it will apply to all. Parent-child hierarchy, it is going to apply to all. So all child elements. But if you have observed in our design, you see para 3 is not a direct child. Para 3 is not a direct child of container because para 3 is present inside span. So that means for container, direct childs are who? Para 1, 2, and 4. 4. You see now, here I am applying container dot container and space P. It indicates inside container wherever paragraph comes. At any level it may come. Everywhere it will apply. Any level. Any level means all paragraphs in container. Why para 5 is not applied? It's outside the container, and it is applying at any level. Now see what I will do. I will write like this. This indicates only the paragraphs in container which are direct childs. That means now para 3 will not apply because para 3 is not a direct child. Para 3 is present inside span. So any level doesn't matter, it should apply. Then better you can go with the space. So when you are defining parent and child, you have to use space. Space refers to all. And this refers to direct child elements, direct child elements. So this is one example I will copy for you. This is example for that. Right. I will upload one document. In the document, you will find all examples. Right. So I'm giving example, but one document have all the definition and example also. You can easily understand at one place. So rational selectors, we have first category is parent and child. Okay. Now I'm writing in a different, for example, remove. I have a heading. So heading is suppose some welcome. And here we will define paragraph, para 1. And I will add some paragraph here. So 1, 2, 3, like this, 4 and 5. Now what I'm doing, I'm writing here. So heading 2 and P. Color is red. For which paragraph it will apply? It will not apply to any paragraph. Are those paragraphs child of heading? They are not child of heading. They are after heading now. They are not child of heading. So space and greater than symbol is only for parent and child. Parent and child. And they are not parent-child relation now. After siblings, we call sibling. Sibling just like brother, sister. Right? That means after, before. These are siblings. That means here it is not going to apply anywhere. It is not going to affect anywhere. Now we can apply here. They are because they are not child at all. So we have another option now, syntax. This is for siblings. How you can apply for siblings? So sibling is nothing but, suppose here we have to define element. So here element, main element. So that is, we can say main element. And we have plus. So next occurrence. So occurrence, we can say occurrence. Main element and occurrence. Plus occurrence indicates the adjacent. Adjacent occurrence. Adjacent occurrence means immediately after. This plus indicates adjacent. Adjacent means which comes immediately after. Adjacent occurrence is actually only one. Only one element. Only one after main. Only one element after main. That is what adjacent. You can have main element. So tilde occurrence. That is called tilde symbol. We call it as tilde. This indicates all occurrences. All occurrences after the main. All occurrences after the main. After the main element, all occurrences. After the main element, only first occurrence. That is what plus. Plus indicates only first, one occurrence. All occurrences, you have to use tilde. So that means now here we are defining. So here we are configuring like this. What is it? So here I'm writing H2 plus paragraph. H2 plus paragraph. This indicates, so the immediate paragraph that comes after heading 2. That means it will be only for para 1. Only for first paragraph it will apply. Now I am writing here tilde. This indicates all paragraphs after heading. That is sibling selectors that you can define by using this. This is another example. Let me copy this. So we have two selectors. One is child, parent and child. Another one sibling. This comes under the category of rational selectors. So what is difference between space, greater than, plus and tilde? Right? These are the symbols I will give here. So a simple summary I will give. Here we have character and purpose. Actually, the character is space. The character is space. Space is for child. All child elements at any hierarchy. At any hierarchy. We have greater than. This is direct child elements. Direct child elements. We have plus. This indicates adjacent. Adjacent. Right? And tilde. This indicates all occurrences. All occurrences. So adjacent and all occurrences. So this is actually just a summary I given here. So we have rational selectors. So one is the primary, another one rational. How we can use the rational selectors. Next important in the selectors. Is it clear to everyone? So difference between space, greater than and all. Next important, we have attribute selectors. Next category, we have attribute selectors. Attribute selectors. Another important attribute selectors. These are very, very important because in HTML, lot of presentation happens because of attribute. For example, suppose what is the problem you will face regularly? The problem that we face regularly here is, the one basic problem is, suppose I am designing a text box, suppose data list, data term. This is a username and we have text box. Input type is text. And we have another, so this is age and input type is number. Input type number. For example, I have buttons. Suppose I am giving input type as button. We have HTML5 for both buttons are there. Button value is login and another input type button. So, and the button value is some cancel. Now, what is the problem in this design? The problem in this design is every element, every presentation that you see in this page is designed with only one element. That means if anybody asked here, how many elements are used here? Only one element is used, its name is input. Only one element is there. And what does type? Text. So type number. These are not elements. Type button, am I right? These are not elements. These are attributes. Element is, type is not element, type is attribute. What is the element? Element is input. That means now if I write effect for input, what will happen? It will apply for everybody. It will apply everywhere. Can I write directly like, can I write directly like type? Type is not a selected, type is not a type, type is not a element. Then how? Suppose I want to apply color for background color only for buttons. Then how you will access only buttons? Like, so attribute selectors. What is advantage is you can select HTML elements by referring to their attributes and value. You can refer to their attribute and value. Only attribute also works, value also works. So you can select HTML elements by referring to their attribute and value. For example, attribute also works, so attribute with value also works. I will give one example here, you will understand. I will give a syntax, only attribute. Only attribute, one syntax I will tell you. Only attribute is nothing but, suppose, let me show you here. For this we will apply, no problem, but I am writing some para 1. And again, I am applying some para 2 and some para 3. Like this, we are defining para 4. Now in this, the second para have an ID, so P2. And fourth para have an ID, some P4. Now I want to apply color for only paragraphs that have ID. Which ID? It may change. But if have ID, apply effect. Which ID? I don't care. It should have ID. ID name, I don't know. ID value, I don't know. Then you can write like this. That is what only attribute. Only attribute means generally how we write only attribute. Only attribute means how you define. For only attribute, how do we write is simply, we need to write element. We need to write element. After that, we need to put a square brace. In the square brace, you have to mention attribute. That's it. It will apply to all elements that have that attribute. That means in our case, how to do now? In our case, we write like this, P, wherever it is having ID. That's it. This refers to all paragraphs that have ID. And what should be ID value? ID value can be anything. ID value can be anything. They must have ID. That means we are concerned whether attribute is there or not. We are not concerned about which value is given for that attribute. So here we can simply apply like this. Wherever paragraph is there, square brace, ID is there, apply color as red. And you can see that it is going to apply that color. For which paragraphs it is working? 2 and 4, because they have ID. Which ID? We don't care, right? That means you can apply only by using attribute. We can apply based on attribute and value. Suppose I want all buttons only. Then how? I want to apply color for all buttons. Buttons are defined using input type button. Then how do we define what is the element? Input in the square brace. What is the attribute? Type. Type attribute value. Value is what? Button. Value is button. Then it should apply. It should apply, right? I will apply background color. Background color is some yellow. It will apply everywhere where the button comes, right? 1 second. Yep. So here you can see everywhere where button is applied with the color. So here we are using two options. One is attribute and it's a value. So there is another option. So attribute with value. So we have to define like this. So we need an element and the attribute is equal to what? Value. So we can apply only based on attribute and we can apply based on attribute and value. Right. This is so how we can configure. Now in this, lot of conditions are there. Here lot of conditions are there. That means first I will give this example. So this is the example we have, and in this both options are given. Now when you are giving attributes, we have conditions. That means conditions for attributes. So we have conditions for attributes. What are the conditions? Actually, you write like this. That means you write attribute is equal to value. This condition indicates, this indicates equal to. That means it indicates exact match. Equal to indicates exact match. You have a lot of conditions. So we have conditions like, so attribute, we have exponent equal value. We have condition like attribute. We have attribute. So dollar equal value. We have attribute. So pipe equal value. We have attribute. So we have attribute tilde equal value. These are all conditions. So what is the meaning of these? We will see. What is the meaning of these conditions? So we have equal and exponent equal, dollar equal, pipe equal, tilde equal. So what is condition is, for example, for that Let's create one more here. Let's add one interface like this. So I'm adding now. So P paragraph, this is para 1. Let's add so many paragraphs. Okay, so here we have some paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Suppose we are having like. Now in this first paragraph, we put a class called effect. Second paragraph, I will give class as. So class as para effect. So we have another class called effect para. And we have class called para effect. And we have a class called para effect and text. So we have another class here. If I use space means there are multiple classes, right? So we have like some effect and para. And we have another class called some para and effect. Para and effect. And one more paragraph, we are having some 8. So we are having class, suppose some effect space para. Already it is there. It is there, right? So we have, that's fine. These are enough. Now we have all the options defined like this. Yeah. Now what I'm doing, I am applying color for paragraph. So where class is an attribute, class is what the effect. Now tell me for which paragraph this color will work. Equal means exact match. Exact match only paragraph. One paragraph is there. Only one paragraph is exact match. That means it is going to apply only for para 1. So exact match, that is what exactly matching. Exactly matching, only one word is exactly matching. Only one paragraph is exactly matching. That is what actually this one. Para 1. We have that para 1. Next important here, you see, we have this symbol. This symbol I told you in regular expressions. Remember? Start with. Dollar indicates ends with. Ends with. In regular expression, I told you about that. We learned that later. We will discuss those expressions and all. Start with, end with. This exponent caret indicates starts with. That means I am writing here exponent equal. That means now for which paragraph it will apply. 1, first paragraph it will work. Third paragraph it will work. Sixth paragraph it will work. It indicates starts with. That means it is going to apply only 1, 3, 6. That indicates that it starts with. So this symbol indicates that starts with. Starts with. This indicates what? Ends with. Ends with. So here, this is a dollar equal. Now, for which one it will apply? First one is both starting and ending. So it will apply for first one. Second one is ending now. Second one is ending. Fourth is ending. Seventh is ending. So seventh is ending. It will apply for those. First, second, 4, and 7. That means ends with. So dollar indicates starts with, and this indicates ends with. Now here we have interesting here now. So this one pipe equal. Observe where it will apply and tell me the point. Only 1 and 6. Then what is the meaning of pipe? What is similarity between 1 and 6? If it is start with, third one should also apply. If it is start with, then third one also should apply. So exact match. First one is exact match. Exact match means it is exactly matching with that word. Second one is it should start with. It should start with and separated with hyphen. Start with and separated with hyphen. Start with separated with space also there. Start with separated with space. Start with separated with hyphen. Hyphen. So this indicates independent means exact match. Another starts with and separated with hyphen. Hyphen. This indicates, tilde indicates. Tilde indicates. You see, it is going to apply 1, 3, 4, 5. What is the meaning? First one, another one, exact match. 1, 3, 4, 5. That means start and anywhere independently present. Start with and anywhere independently present. That means not with hyphen. Anywhere independently present, it is going to apply. So what this means, this indicates exact match, comma, start with and separated with which symbol? Hyphen. Remember, other symbols are not allowed. When you are writing CSS, if you want any lengthy name, use hyphen. Don't use space. If you use space, it becomes two classes. Right? Only separation should be hyphen. Right? And what this means, this is exact match and individual. Individual means it can be starting individual, ending individual, in between individual, in between anywhere, independently present. Then it is going to apply that effect, right? These are the conditions for attributes. We can give only attribute. We can give attribute with value. But when you give attribute with value, you have to tell where the value you are looking for. Is the value at the starting, at the end, or independently present, or it should have separated with hyphens? These are important. So these all are not used regularly. But at large scale projects, thousands of lines of CSS will be there. And lot of elements will be there. Everything we can't do with class. Everything we cannot do with IDs. So many times we need to write conditions. We need to write the logic saying that if this condition is matching, apply. Right? That is what actually we can do by using the attribute conditions. This example I will give. In this, you just change the operator and see. You will change the operator and see, you will see the differences. Here use all the operators, equal, pipe equal, plus equal, all this, right? This is basically another set of selectors. These selectors, we call them as what kind of selectors? Attribute selectors. So three categories we learned. One is primary selector, rational selectors, another attribute selector. Next important, we have dynamic pseudo classes. Next important, dynamic pseudo classes. Dynamic pseudo classes. First, we need to know the meaning of these three words. What does dynamic means? Dynamic means it changes according to situation. That means the effects are not standard. So how effects are not standard? Have you seen such things? Effects are not standard. Effects are not standard. Of course, you saw that we learned when mouse is over, it looks different. When mouse is out, it is different. So is it having same effect? No, effect is changing, right? How it is possible? That is dynamic. Dynamic means element will not have same effect. The effect will be changing according to situation. What does pseudo means? Pseudo means a false representation. Pseudo means false representation. False representation means its name is not what it is. That means its name is different and what it does is different. That is a false representation. We call that as pseudo. For example, if I tell you one simple thing like in HTML, I need a link, then confusion. What confusion? Which link you are talking about? In head section link tag or in body section anchor tag? Both are called links, right? But actually technical difference is there. Technical difference, both are not links. One is anchor, another one is link. Link means different. But what happens now, if I write link, it should work for link element, na? No, it will work for anchor. That is the false representation. That's the reason we cannot exactly tell until or unless we know. We cannot exactly tell that this will affect here. That's a false representation. That means it looks with a different name, applies in different place. But that is known to everybody who learned CSS. The person who sees CSS without knowing completely, he will be confused. That means you are writing link, but it is applying somewhere else. These kind of false representation you will see, that is called pseudo, right? Another, what is the meaning of class? So actually, first thing, dynamic. Dynamic allows to change effects according to state and situation. Dynamic allows to change effects according to state and situation. And pseudo is a false representation for element, representation for elements. And a class is a program template, is a program template. It is a program template with a set of data and logic. Class is a program template with a set of data and logic. It is a program template with set of data and logic. So it is a program template with a set of data and logic. That is the technical definition actually. So later when you learn programming, you will learn some more point about that. But in computer programming, wherever the word class comes, so class means it's a program template with some set of data and logic. What is meant by a program template? Program template means you don't need to do everything. Already they done something. You have to just use it and customize according to your requirement. That means, for example, I asked you to prepare a resume. I asked you to prepare a resume. It will take time to design a resume. Then what you can ask like, give me one resume template. What is the advantage of the template? Template have already designed everything set. Only just you change your name and put your there. That means template advantage, already everything is written. Just you need to access and customize according to your requirement. That is what actually the meaning of class. So I will show you actual process here. Suppose we have some heading welcome, some heading. Now I will show you the actual process. Actual process is lengthy. Suppose anybody moves the mouse onto the heading, its color should change. When move the mouse onto it, color should change. Come out, it should be normal. Then generally, in general, we have to write a lot of logic for that. Like this. I say, so on mouse over, so set color. On mouse out, so reset color. We are writing like this. Now we are writing a script and we write a function, set color, and document.query select. Don't worry what I am writing, just see it. So in that we are applying style dot color, so is red. And here, so the same thing for reset color. So I will copy the same and it is reset color. So on reset color, so the color will be again black. Now what happens is I written so much logic, and when we do that, when mouse is over, it will apply that color. And when mouse is out, it will be normal. That means it is having some effect. For this, you need to write lot of logic. We need to write some set of logic. And we need to apply this logic to this element. Now, what latest CSS is doing is, it is reducing this logic. What they are doing, they designed a class called hover. In this hover class, all this functionality they written. In that hover class, all the functionality they written. That means when mouse is moved over, it will identify. When mouse is moved out, it will identify. Logic they already written. And what we can do now in the style. So in the style, wherever heading comes, we will implement that hover class. This colon indicates inherit. It indicates inherit, implement. Implement which class? Hover class. Then what happens? In this class, whatever logic is there, it will work. In that, whatever logic is there, it is going to work. So without writing logic, you are accessing some predefined logic. Like that in CSS latest versions, they designed a lot of classes like that. Why they have to do that? Because without these classes, we used to do that earlier with JavaScript. The problem with JavaScript is, if JavaScript is disabled on browser, this will not work. If JavaScript is disabled, JavaScript is good for browser. JavaScript have some security issues also. JavaScript have a lot of security problems. That is the reason many times what we do is, we don't allow JavaScript to run. So if we allow JavaScript to run, then problems will be there. We don't allow. We can block JavaScript. If JavaScript is blocked, these kind of effects will not work. We can block JavaScript. How we can block JavaScript? See, Suppose I currently effect is working. I will go to this is edge :/ settings. This is edge settings. I can open directly edge settings here. In edge settings, I will search here by name JavaScript. I am searching by name JavaScript, and here some results came. You see, JavaScript results came. This is JavaScript. Currently, JavaScript is allowed. I will block JavaScript. JavaScript is blocked. I will refresh this page. I will move the mouse. It's not working now. That means I move the mouse onto this. That effect is not working. That means it's mandatory that JavaScript must be enabled. If JavaScript is good, why they have given an option to block, right? They given an option to block means there are some problems with it. So why it is not good? Because actually JavaScript is used mostly by Trojans. In computers, you will have two major issues. Lot of issues are there. We have virus, we have Trojans, we have worms. So many are there. So you know about only virus majority, but more threat than virus is Trojan. Trojans are more dangerous than virus. So what happens if a virus program comes into our computer? Virus program, when it comes into our computer, actually the meaning, so virus is nothing but vital information under seized. That is the full form of virus actually. So what do you think? Virus means a microorganism. Huh? Cough, cold will come to computer. Huh? Then it is a program. Virus is a vital information under seized. It's not any infection, right? Generally you feel like infection, right? It is not infection. So people, when they tell about computer virus, they threaten you like some infection is coming, like COVID, right? So that's nothing. Actually, it's a program. And what is the nature of this program is every virus don't have same nature. Different programs, different effects. Some programs will block your exe files. If they block exe files, you cannot open any apps. Some programs will delete your JPG files. Like that, different effects will be there. These are virus programs. We have Trojans. Trojan is nothing but, we call Trojan horse actually. Trojan horse. Trojan horses are very dangerous. Actually, what happens is, suppose we use for good reasons, but they are very dangerous. So Trojan is nothing but, so you give me your mobile or computer for 5 minutes. I will give back to you. And after that, I can see everything what you are doing on your mobile. I can see everything what you are doing on your PC. Right? And I can even control you. Your mobile, your device. There are so many Trojans like that. We call them Trojans. Trojans means what they do? They broadcast your information to others. These are more dangerous. That means somebody is watching what you are doing. They can do. There are so many softwares like that. So that means people use them. Officially, we use them. For example, I think you don't know, Google have a Google Family app. No, you don't know. Google have a Google Family app. Google Family app. Because these days, kids are using mobiles and tabs for online classes and all. Right? Google have a family app. You install that Google Family app, connect all your family members' email IDs and devices. You can watch where everyone is. Right? You can watch what that kid is watching on his tab. Right? You can even lock apps. That means he tries to install a game, then it will alert you. You give permission, then only it will install. Device is his, but it is under your control. He is playing game. You can turn off the tab. You can lock the tab. You can unlock the tab. Google Family app is there, right? Just now I went 5 minutes outside. Now I got an app alert for my kid, asking that I want to install one app. Give permission. That's why I went out, right? So that is family app. That is the family app. That means it just alerts everything. You can control. That is good reason. That means you can control a device remotely. How it is possible? Through JavaScript only. And if you have any threat like that, that somebody is watching, somebody is controlling, you disable JavaScript, nothing will happen. That is the reason why they have given an option for blocking JavaScript. They have given an option for blocking JavaScript because it have a little bit threat. We will disable it. Then, but if you disable, lot of options in websites will not work. That is the reason now recently what they are doing is maximum as much as possible. They are reducing the use of JavaScript and providing all facilities through HTML, CSS. In CSS, they are introducing lot of classes. These classes will take place of JavaScript, but 100% replacement not possible. We can reduce so that it will be better. Even JavaScript is disabled. See now, currently JavaScript is disabled. You see JavaScript is blocked here. JavaScript is blocked here. So it is not working. But see now, even JavaScript is blocked. I am writing heading 2. We will put hover. Hover color. Color is what? Red. I am applying like this. That means you can see here, you can see it has to work here. Now it is working fine. And still JavaScript is blocked. That means it says that your JavaScript is blocked on this page. You can see it shows that JavaScript is blocked on this page. JavaScript is blocked, but effects are still working. Earlier, we have to do only with JavaScript, but now CSS helps us. What is the advantage of using all these classes, right? This is important. I will allow. I'll go to the settings. Okay. And I will enable this again. Okay. This is the point why we need class and what is the purpose of class. That means earlier we have to write a lot of functionality. Now what we are doing, we are just implementing without writing everything, but only not implementing. We are customizing according to requirements. So like that, you have so many pseudo classes. What are those classes? Some already we learned. So let's see the classes what we have. One is I will give here class name and a description. These are dynamic pseudo classes. These are the dynamic pseudo classes. So dynamic pseudo classes. These in these dynamic pseudo classes, first one you already know, hover. So we have colon hover. Actually, class name is hover. Colon is an operator, inheritance. So that means you can write just colon, but colon is a separate operator. Class name is only hover. So what is the purpose of this? So actions on mouse over. We have active. This is actions on mouse down. Mouse down means when you hold down the button. When you move the mouse, that is hover. When you hold down the button, that is down. That is called active. Right? We call it as active. So we have hover, we have active. Next important, we have a link. Link. So link is nothing but, so link refers to all hyperlinks in a normal state. It refers to all hyperlinks in normal state. Another one we have visited. With these already we discussed some visited. So visited links, visited hyperlinks, visited hyperlinks. So we have hover, we have active, we have link, and we have visited. These are basic, dynamic. In that, so many are there. Others will be there. We will see that, right? So this is actually another option. We have focus. Focus. So actions on element focus. Actions on element focus. Element focus. Element focus means when you enter into that element, when you start using that element, that is called focus. I will show you that, right? So these are the basic classes. In that again, categories are there. I will tell you. Dynamic pseudo classes are these. I will show you here now. So how we can handle that. So let's delete all this. This is all script you will learn in JavaScript. So here, now you see, we are handling here one option, that is, let's put an image. So image source is, we have images, where it is // yeah. So we have public and images. In this images, so I have some image, some aid, ASP, AW, some image is there. Now this image width and height are given something like this. Now what I want is, when mouse is over, I want this image to zoom. That means size should increase for that image. Then what we will do, we will just keep here img image hover. That means this is a class and image is inheriting that class. That means now all these class related functionality hover have two methods. That is mouse over and mouse out. Those two methods will work for this image now. And what you have to do is on mouse over. So we will define width as 300 and height also 300. Just temporarily. So for body, I'll keep display flex and justify content center. Align items center like this I give. So height as 500 pixel. Okay, this keeps exactly center. Now when I move the mouse onto it, then it changes its size. That means on hover, it is changing the size, colors, anything we can do that. But this is called transformation. Element is changing from one state to another. Actually, we call this is initial state and this is final state. That means final state, how it looks like. Now, from initial to final state, if you want to delay the time, you know. So we have to use one option. What is it? Transition. Transition some 2 seconds I given. Then it will take 2 seconds like this. Again back, it is normal. So back again, that means again image. This is image at normal state without hover. Without hover, transition. Transition should be some 2 seconds. Then now on mouse over and on mouse out, it will be normal. We can change. We can change the lot of things we can do. We will see other effects also. This is hover. I don't want like that. Suppose instead of hover, I will change this to active. Active means on any element when user hold down the button. On any element, user hold down the button. That means now active means not hover. Mouse is over, but it is not changing. Hold down the button. That means hold down. Then it will work. And release the button. Once I release the button, until I hold down, it will be there. Release the button, again it will be normal. That means we can control active. Active means until it is hold down. And release, it will come out. Actually, you learned in a different point earlier. I told you link active. Link active means what? When you hold down on a hyperlink. We learned a link, v link. Na? That means when you hold down on link, that is actually not for only link. It will apply everywhere. That means for any element, mouse down. That is called active. Any element you can use for any element. So it is not only for links. So you can use for any element. You can apply any effect. So this is basic. So how you are applying the effects, right? So this is active, or you can even apply as a hover, right? This is one point. So the active and hover. And link and visited already we learned. What is link and visited? Suppose we are having a paragraph I will give. We have anchor href. So some home, some demo.html, some page. So I said home like this. Now, usually what happens, this is the link we are having. Visited link color, ordinary link color, already we showed, right? So how we do, we write actually anchor and link. This indicates ordinary link. Ordinary link color, it should be some green, something like this. And I told you visited. Visited is for visited links. Already you visited those links on your computer. Then visited link color is some like a gray. And you can see the color will apply like that. We can set color for visited link, normal links. No need to explain them. Already we learned. I told you how to remove underline. What is it? Text decoration as a none. Then it can remove underline for the links. Right? All these options we learned. Link related things, these two already we know. So hover, active, link, and visited. Focus is nothing but first let me copy up to this. Okay. Now here I will just give one simple option to make you understand. I will add a simple text. Suppose here we are having data list and data term, some username. And we have a text box. Input type is text. And we have another password and input type password. And what I want is, for password, I want to show some tip. So we have some button and let's say login. Now I want to show some tip for password. I want to show the tip for password. Means password must be some characters 4 to 15 like that. But when it should come, when user starts typing some password. That means when user clicks inside it, that is called focus. That is called focus. When you click outside it, that is called blur. We call as blur. So that means this is focus and this is blur. Normal state is blur state. And when it focus, so what we do here, so after this div, in the data definition, after this, we will put a div here. This div is having password, so message password 4 to 15 characters. So with at least one uppercase letter. Like this we are adding. Now, actually, this message is displayed always. Always it is displayed. 4 to 15 characters with at least one uppercase letter. I want it to display only when user goes there, right? In that case, what we will do is how we will access, we will put a ID. ID as what? Password. Why I am not using class? Why I am using ID? Because unique. That means with this name, another field should not be there. So that's the reason. So we can use class also, doesn't matter. So here I will write hash password. This refers to that password box. So, but our effect is not for that password, for the div which is present after password. Then after password means plus div display should be none. Display should be none. That means it should not display. And when it should display? So hash when password have applied with the class focus, when password gets focus, then what should happen? Plus div. That means the div beside it. So it should display block. Display have two options: inline block. Inline means side by side. Block means below. Right? If you want to display message beside the password, you can put as inline. Below, you can keep as block. And display block, not only that, I will put color as red. I will put font size as suppose 14 pixel. Now see what happens. When I click inside, it will display like this. Right? When you click, and when I click outside, it is gone. That means it will remind you every time when you click inside it. You entered some password, okay, and you finished it. It's not verifying. It is just only style. Verifying is done by using pattern. We use pattern, right? And you see, I again click to continue my password. Again, it will show. That means whenever you start there to type something and it will highlight. So this is actually focus. Focus. When an element gets focus, we can display some message. These are all those classes actually. These are the classes for them. Hover, active, link, visited, and focus. Right. This is another example for that. Now we have some more classes we will see tomorrow. Right. In tomorrow's session, we will discuss about other classes. And once you can finish these classes, then we will learn styles. CSS have a lot of effects. We are not learning effects now. We are learning how to choose elements. After that, we will learn effects, how to apply them. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue. Right.